And so I was just nervous because I was like, by saying I'm gonna go vegan, I'm making this huge stance on something. My name's Ashley Rice and welcome to my YouTube channel. You guys, I am so proud that I am a vegan. And that's so weird to think about, but first, before I get into all of my thoughts about what I've just said, I do have a lot of followers who are not vegan, and I don't want you to think in any way that I think I'm higher than you guys, and I don't want you to think that somehow I'm like trying to force you or guilt you into becoming vegan. I think veganism is an individual choice that needs to be made individually. I think that needs to be something that you decide on your own if you ever decide that. So I don't want you to feel like I'm pressuring you in any way. I don't want you to feel like I am thinking that I am higher than you in any way. Like I don't think that, and I don't want you to think that, but I want to talk about just my thought process of myself as a vegan as I have been making this journey and transitioning from vegetarianism to veganism, because it's been like a whirlwind of emotions, surprisingly. And so I just want to talk about it because I finally have hit that point where I am so proud every day that I remember that I'm a vegan. Yeah, I just don't want you to think that if you're not vegan, somehow I'm degrading you, demoralizing you, or like just trying to be rooted to you in any way. I'm not. I just want to talk about my thoughts and how I've been feeling since going from vegetarianism to veganism. So here it is. This is my V2V vlog today. So here we go. Let's see what comes out of my mouth. Just a little bit of a background story for those of you who don't know. Maybe you're new to my channel. I decided to become a vegan October, November-ish in 2017. And before that, I was a vegetarian, probably closer to 11.5 is more exact. Oh my gosh, my cats are crazy today. When I first started thinking about going vegan, I actually got really scared, which is weird because going from vegetarianism to veganism is not extremely tricky, as you know, going from a everyday meat eating diet to veganism. But I was still really scared because I was like, this is a huge lifestyle change. Like I'm not only changing what I eat, but I'm changing like everything that I'm purchasing. And you know, I'm really declaring something by becoming a vegan. Like it's not just what I eat, but it's my lifestyle I'm changing. Vegetarianism is just mostly with food. And so I wasn't making some moral, ethical stance by becoming vegetarian. I was just saying I'm not going to eat meat or, you know, other products like gelatin and stuff like that. And so I was just nervous because I was like, by saying I'm going to go vegan, I'm making this huge stance on something that like I am passionate about, but it was still made me nervous for some reason. And then I was like, then I have to worry about where I'm going to get all this stuff because like everyone else, I was like, oh, vegans don't get protein. There's no way they're going to have enough vitamin B12 or iron or, you know, just all this stuff that like when you become vegan, you realize is not true. And it's just misunderstandings. Like I was freaking out about that. And then I was freaking out about how like, oh, now I'm going to have to stay up to date on who's cruelty-free and, you know, do they use dairy and eggs and butter, and what am I gonna have replace my eggs, and da, da, da. And I just started freaking out. That's like the simplest way to put it. I started freaking out, but like I thought about it for a really long time and I was like, but I want to make this switch. I had kept telling myself like I could never give up cheese. I could never, you know, do this, that, or this. Like veganism is just too hard and only crazy people are vegans, and you know, just like everything that you hear, I kept telling myself. And so finally I was like looking at what I was eating and most of it was vegan. I wouldn't have had to change that much from what I eat regularly. I started realizing that the places that we go out to all really have vegan options, and I started realizing that I could become a vegan. Like I couldn't tell myself anymore that I couldn't do it, and so I decided to do it, to become a vegan, and I was still so scared. And then I read this article that said, take it slow, you know, just switch over things slowly. And so I started doing that. And I realized that I actually had switched over to becoming a vegan pretty early on. I mean, here's the thing. I'm still making mistakes. I'm still buying things, getting them home, and then realizing they're not vegan. So like, I'm still making mistakes all the time, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning like what has bugs in it or not, and like my viewpoints on certain ethical choices. My cats are going nuts right now, so I'm sorry if there's any weird noises. I'm just gonna apologize now. There's so much more I still have to do as I'm transitioning to veganism, but I finally hit this stage just a few days ago actually, where I remembered I was a vegan. Like you wake up and you're like, oh yeah, I decided to be a vegan. You know, it's just your brain like re-realizing something. And all of a sudden I had this overwhelming sense of, I don't know if pride is the right word, but just like happiness and like feeling fulfilled in a way. Like I was making such an important decision because like I've always been an extreme animal lover, and yet I was still deciding to, you know, support the egg industry and the dairy industry and all these terrible things and people who don't do cruelty-free, and I was still supporting all of this, and I was just ignorant to like how much that really affects animals, and that if I really love them, this is something I shouldn't support. And so finally, when I decided to become a vegan, even though I was terrified, like I was taking a stance for something that I really believed in. So recently I just started realizing that, and I feel so good about this choice. Like, I know that seems weird, but I just feel really great. Like, I feel like I'm making an important decision for me, and I feel like I'm doing so much. Like, I'm seeing all of these articles about just one person becoming vegan saves this many animals, this much water, list goes on. I'm just excited that I can do something by myself and make such a big impact, and that I can, you know, I can do this by myself. Like, I think recently I felt like I'm just not making that big of an impact in the world, because it's like, okay, I'm passionate about this, but like, what can I do as an individual? This is something that needs to be decided in government, and like, they're getting paid millions by companies that they're gonna side with over, you know, all the citizens telling them it's not worth it. Like, what more is one person gonna do? Even though like, obviously I'm still going forth and I'm still doing it, but I just, you don't feel like you're making a difference as an individual, which is like weird and sad. Like, that shouldn't be the case, but that's just what you feel like, even though you're doing it. But like, with deciding to go vegan and realizing that like, I'm only supporting, you know, companies who have vegan options or are vegan themselves, or have cruelty-free vegan items and are cruelty-free vegan themselves. So like, I'm supporting something I'm passionate in, and like, me deciding to be vegan is making great small steps to like improving the world just by one person becoming vegan. Like, so it's so crazy. So this is off the PETA website. I'll leave a link to this below so you can see the whole article. So a mathematician extraordinaire, Noam Moore, probably totally butchering that, who has studied government and industry figures and compiled a report on the number of animals served up on the American tables. Based on these figures, Noam calculated that each year the average person consumes roughly 130 shellfish, 40 fish, 26 chickens, 1 turkey, nearly half a pig, and little more than a tenth of a cow. Since vegans eat no animals, each vegan saves nearly 200 animals per year. How crazy is that? And me choosing to be a vegan, like, that's such a simple step in the right direction. You'll see these charts everywhere. I'll try and put some information below off of one that I can find, and I'll leave links and stuff. There's statistics that tell you by becoming a vegan you're saving so much water because you're not having to grow all the crops that all the animals need to eat. Instead, you're just growing the crops that you're eating. So it's replacing all of that. And it's a lot less than an animal needs. And so they'll tell you how much water you're saving, but then obviously if you're taking like an hour-long shower, you're not doing any good. So like, I think veganism is such an easy step to take for me personally. So like, by me deciding to become a vegan, I'm taking small little steps that I can grow on. You know, how else can I help improve the environment by making small little choices? I guess like, my thoughts are everywhere right now, so sorry. Making this realization that I can make a difference as an individual has just given me so much strength, I guess, to continue to make these decisions. So I've started looking into how else I can help the environment, help animals. Like, I'm looking at how I can further help make an impact for things that I'm really passionate about. I'm really happy with the decision that I've made in life, and I feel like I've had a bit of weight taken off of me, I guess you could say. Like, I just feel like I'm doing something that's so good by simply being. Like, by simply deciding that veganism is going to be my lifestyle change, I am helping creatures and animals that deserve love and kindness and care and don't deserve for us to place them in these confinements where we choose that they are delicious meat, you know, like, just, ugh. I can words. You know, like, I'm choosing to give compassion and honor and life to these animals by simply choosing to be vegan. And that's just by then being me. Like, me as a person, I'm making such a difference. And that's really exciting, because I think deep down, we all want to know we're making a difference in the world. I think that's a universal thought. We want to know that somehow we've made an impact and a difference in the world. And I feel like I am by just being now. Whereas before, when I was vegetarian, like, you know, I was helping out animals by not killing them, but like, I was still doing all these other crazy things to animals. And by the way, I'm not dissing vegetarians. I was a vegetarian for like close to 11 and a half years. So like, no way am I dissing vegan or vegetarians. So like, don't think that either. Like, but being a vegetarian, it wasn't like I was making this crazy lifestyle switch. It was just, okay, I'm choosing not to eat pork and, you know, fish and all these other things. But like, by choosing to be vegan, I'm switching to a different lifestyle that just, which will eventually become such a normal thing for me, and it'll be like living every other day of my life, just natural. I don't know. I feel like I'm running in circles now, so maybe I should end this soon, but I just wanted to let you guys know this update, that I've gone from being scared poopless to become a vegan to like being really happy with my decision. And again, I just want to reiterate, I'm not trying to force anyone into veganism. I'm not trying to state that I'm higher because I'm vegan. Just, I'm really proud of my decision. And that's all I'm trying to say. There's no underlying weird subliminal thing I'm trying to get out. I'm just letting you guys know that I'm really excited for the decision that I've made and for the rest of my life as a vegan, and how big of an impact I'm going to make in something that I'm really passionate about. And I guess, yeah, if I had to make this more universal, I just want to encourage everyone out there that find something you're passionate about and make a small change. Just take small steps to be able to pursue what you're passionate about. So let's say you're passionate about the environment, like start bringing reusable grocery bags when you buy groceries. You know, that's such an easy, simple step, and then you're not wasting all those plastic bags, you know, or start composting, or start being really active with making sure you're throwing away the right recycling and that you're not throwing away things that can't be recycled, and so then they have to throw away the whole batch. Just like educate yourself about the environment and things we're doing wrong to it. Just find something that you are passionate about as an individual and take steps, because it's crazy how happy I am with the decision that I've made. Like, I'm really happy, guys. And I just want you guys to feel that as well for whatever you're passionate about. It doesn't have to be veganism. It could be for, you know, maybe you're really passionate about your community, or about, you know, broken families, or homelessness, or just any area that you feel passionate about. I just encourage you to take small steps to make that a part of your lifestyle, to help out whatever area that you're passionate about. And it may be difficult, because there's times that, you know, veganism can be difficult. You know, maybe you randomly go out to a place without having researched it, and all of a sudden all you can eat is fries. Like, that's not fun, but like, I'm still doing something great with my life. And, you know, hopefully showing that company that veganism is something they might have to deal with, so they might want to have more vegan options. Making specific choices to help out something you're passionate about is amazing. So I would just encourage everyone to find something you're passionate about and really go for it. Just find small ways that you can slowly help that area. You'll feel so great about yourself and the decision that you have decided to make. I'm going to continue to do these VDV vlogs. I'm trying to figure out where I want to regularly schedule them. I haven't quite decided that yet, so if you have a preference of when you would like me to post it, at least once every month, let me know. I want to start getting into that habit of scheduling days to be certain things. And so let me know when you want me to do my VDV vlogs, where I talk about, you know, my transition from vegan or from vegetarianism to veganism and the problems I run into, the exciting things like this where I feel so proud of myself, or just, you know, anything. So, and also if there's any part of this journey that you want me to talk about, feel free to leave that in the comments below and I'll try and do that in my next BDV vlog. Yeah. Other than that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.